day 2 kicks off with the Baring Bingham Novices Hurdle, and it's like deja vu because Ballyburn is currently our 7-4 favourite with Boyle Sports for the Baring Bingham Novice Hurdle. Slade Steel is 7-2, Il Atlantique 5-1, Mythical Power 5-1, 13-2, Reed and Tommy Wrong, Gilly Park 11-1, 12-1 Bar. Right, Robbie, we're going to come to you here first with Slade Steel, because this would appear, if Ballyburn does go for the Supreme, Slade Steel is likely to be sent off favourite. Would you give him a big chance of beating the rest other than Ballyburn?
I'd say if Ballyburn goes for the Supreme, whenever Willie runs here, will go off favourite, because there'll be a lot of support for the Il Atlantique. I thought ran a good race in Naas, where he was just pushed off by Reed and Tommy Wrong. He was doing all the donkey work in front. I think he's a very, very good horse. He was very impressed when he won his maiden in Gorn. If Ballyburn runs here, he'll win. If he doesn't, Slade Steel has a good chance. He stays really well. He showed plenty of speed as well, over 2 mile in Leopardstown on the last day. He's a very, very good horse. But Il Atlantique will be a big danger. Mystical Power could come here as well. It's a deep race as well, but yeah, I think Slade Steel would have a strong chance in this if he runs here.
Okay, currently 7-2. Jonny Dineen, you're not just entirely convinced by Il Atlantique.
No, not really. Look, he's a goodish horse. Yeah, he's a good horse, obviously. But look, I just think that he's been in 3 struggles and lost the 3 of them, and I don't think there's any coincidence in that. There are 3 races where he looked like winning, and like, to be fair, he was coming to the last with Reed and Tommy Wrong. The other one met it all wrong, and he got a length and a half, and still couldn't win. That's not a great sign to me, anyway. I think that they will he be suited by the hill in Cheltenham? I have a feeling that when it comes to the real crunch, he'll bow out like he has done in his last 3, or the 3 times he lost anyway. You know what I mean? Okay, he won a race and going. He didn't win a maiden hurdle. It was bad conditions and it wasn't easy. It is a horse with a lot of ability, but I think he's just lacking that bit of heart maybe that you need in a race like this. I do think this is a fairly open race now if Ballyburn doesn't show, and I wouldn't be surprised if any one of 5 or 6 horses won it. I don't really fancy Il Atlantique, to be honest.
Okay, so he's the one you're against, Il Atlantique, and if it was to push you for a selection?
If Gidley Park actually turned up here, I would give it a chance. It's probably hard enough to fancy English novices, but I'd say that if there is any good English novice, it's him. And of the Irish ones, it'll be interesting to see how Ballyburn gets on. If Ballyburn does happen to win, it franks Slade Steel's form. Ballyburn happens to get beat, maybe, or if Ballyburn is running, he should win this race. But if Ballyburn ran and lost, it would influence the price in Slade Steel too. That's for sure. But if he did happen to hose in the Supreme, Slade Steel would probably be favoured, and he is a good solid horse. I do think he's probably beatable, but I'd say he's definitely 1, 2, 3 material at the same time.
Pocket talk aside here, answer this honestly. Do you think Ballyburn is a bigger certainty in the Supreme or a bigger certainty in the Baring Bingham?
I'd say he'll be the same price in either, because he'll frighten horses away, and he'll make either race, whatever he goes in, about an 8 or 10 horse race. If I would have said he's probably a better bet at the longer distance.
Okay, interesting. So he's 7-4, slightly bigger price for the Baring Bingham. Look, we're not going to go over the Ballyburn chat again, David. Let's just pretend he runs in the Supreme, and you've got Il Atlantique potentially reading Tommy Wrong here.
Yeah, reading Tommy Wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in the Albert Bartlett. Il Atlantique would probably run here. What else we got down the race? Jimmy DeSau, Mercury, they'll all definitely run. Predators Gold will run. Mystical Power, again, I'm not sure. So there'll be a few in it. Yeah, I give Il Atlantique a good bit more credit in Naas than I had done before. I actually thought it was a better performance. I was a bit like Jonny when he got beaten his 2 bumpers. I thought he battled well enough. I thought after making the running, I thought just the way the race was running, Naas, I thought they went hard early, and I thought 3 or 4 took him on, and that I thought it suited reading Tommy Wrong coming from so far back. So I gave him a bit more credit. I think he's a good horse. The revolves around Ballyburn, obviously, So I definitely think he's got his chance. I think it's wide open outside of that. Captain Teague will go to the Albert Bartlett. I imagine handstands where that won the Huntington, didn't it, last time out? Didn't look a strong race to me. Now beat Django Bay, was it? Jeez, if they win, we're in trouble. I'll be looking for something at a big price. I think it get placed here.
So you don't think Il Atlantique has the soft centre that some people do?
I was siding it. I gave him more credit after Naas than I did before, to be honest.
And he would be Paul Townend's most likely ride if Ballyburn doesn't run?
Yeah, obviously, if Reed and Tommy Ryan goes the other way, Mystical Power, if he ran, sure, that'd be Mark Walsh, you know, so I couldn't imagine putting his hand up for one of the 25-1 shots at the moment anyway.
Perfect. Tony, anything you like in the Baring Bingham?
I'd like Jonny. I don't like Aid Atlantic. He'd be the opposite of a usual Willie Mullins novice hurdle winner. Like he's had 5 runs for the yards and beaten in 3 of them. Like usually they're coming in with a string of 1s in front of their name, and he's fairly short enough for a horse to gets beaten a lot.
But not beaten far.
But that tells its own tale though.
It does.
Keeps getting beaten by less than a length, and sometimes you'd like to get your nose in front. I really like the double green horse in this. I thought he was really impressive. Now, my concern is that you don't seem to rate him, which is probably putting the brakes off me.
I backed him in Naas.
Good man. But I just thought he was doing plenty wrong in the early part of the race. Wasn't really travelling, missed a couple of hurdles, not easy.
He's quite lazy. If you rode him handier, he'd have travelled and jumped, he'd be fine.
And I thought second half of the race, he just picked up the bridle beautifully. Despite missing the last, he got up. I'm going to back him wherever he runs now, reading Tommy wrong. As long as Ballyburn don't pitch up against him. But I'd be keenest in him kind of at the prices of the Mullins novices.
That's interesting. And David, judging by the prices, people seem to think that reading Tommy wrong won't confirm the form with Atlantique. You think he might?
The reason I backed him, I thought he was way too big a price. He shouldn't have been 33-1 in Naas. It was a way better horse than that. I didn't necessarily think he'd win the race, but I just thought he was a way too big a price. He's a fair horse, but he'd be quite deceiving at home, be very lazy at home. So what you'd see on the track is a little bit more than what you'd get at home, you know. So.